G'day footprinters. Now here in Australia it is Monday the 19th of August. I am going to be having a look at the economy, possible recession. So I have 3 decks now that I have reversals in. One of them is the Victorian Steampunk. The other one is the Steampunk Tarot, which you see me use a lot. And the third one is my unvarnished blunt truth. So, ask you to bear with me because, you know, I'm just starting to use the reversals. Hang on a moment. So, the spread I'm going to use to look at a possible recession. Sorry about that. I'll close the door. Hang on. Hi, back again. Just close the door. I had to take a phone call while I was on pause. Anyway, I am going to use something called the Tower spread. Look at the US economy and the possibilities of a global recession. Okay, so this is the spread I'm going to use here. And of course, as always, we'll read out what the positions mean. I do enjoy using different spreads and stuff and learning about them. So anyway, let us start. And as you'll see, my cheat sheet is in the background for any reversals that may come up. I'm using the Victorian Steampunk Tarot deck because it's relatively plain. It's not cluttered up with people because we are talking about a very basic commodity, money, and yeah, so go on from there. Now the first position here is what foundational beliefs or principles or structures are being challenged, and that is the economy, and we'll look at the American economy, and then I might do a clarifier next to it for each one on world economy. So I might do one here, one here. So American, world. So the US economy first. Position 1. What foundational beliefs, principles or structures are being challenged with the economy? The Wheel of Fortune, reversed. Now, that is bad luck, difficulties, delays, losing ground, going backwards. So what's being challenged here is that the economy is in a good position, which is what Trump is wanting you to believe. He's ignoring any mention of recession. He just wants to believe that everything is going well and that he wants you to believe what he says and not what anybody else says. So what's being challenged here is definitely the belief that everything is going as it should in the economy. Now, the fact is that recessions are a normal part of the economic cycle. You can't have it really good all the time. And the other fact is that the US economy is going well for certain parts. It's going for okay, yeah, not too bad, but other parts of the economy are getting a lot more. It's not really evenly spread as it should be. So number 2 is, why is this belief being challenged? And it's the 4 of Dragonflies, the 4 of Cups. This, of course, it's being challenged because Trump doesn't want to know about it. He's being told by all his economic advisors and everything that the economy's thing. And all he cares about in the economy is Wall Street. So if it's not about Wall Street, he doesn't really want to know because he doesn't think it applies. He knows nothing about economics. To him, the economy is all about how well stocks and shares are going on Wall Street. And all that's going well. And because all that's going well, everything else is going well. Wall Street's just one part of the economic makeup. Stocks and shares and all that. That's just one part of it. But he doesn't see that. He doesn't want to know. The offer he doesn't want to accept is that the economy needs some help to stop it from going into recession. That's not to say that other readers have looked at it and said, look, it's not going to get as bad as 2008, but there is going to be a recession. Now, how can the America ease into the transition? There are so many possibilities out there that you can use to make things easier. Small businesses on the side that might bring in a little bit of extra income, using a barter economy amongst your community that helps everybody. People may not have money to offer for, say, groceries or something, but they might have a skill that they can offer. Say, okay, I can work for 10 hours a week in your store if we can get a week's worth of groceries and things like that. So a barter system, there's so many possibilities that you can ride out and ease any transition there might be into a recessional economy. But again, Trump doesn't understand that. He just wants people to give him stuff without giving anything in return. So that's something he doesn't pay and he doesn't give them anything into return. That give and take, that return for services is something so foreign to him. What is the lesson in this shake-up for America? The lesson here is that no magic trick is going to stop the recession, but you have all the tools you need to see it through. So that's the first part of the tower spread. Now I'm going to repeat that for the global economy before I do the lightning strike part of the set. So this is the structure. So we're going to have a look at the structure for the global economy as well. So what foundational beliefs, principles or structures are being changed? The high priest. That there is the high priest, secrets, hidden agendas, hidden wisdom. What's being turned upside down here is that that people had insight into everything, that they had intuitive understanding, and that all you have to do is see the potential and have patience and stay calm. This is being turned upside down because of a few people. They hit red buttons over and over again and they cause certainty and confusion. So this calmness and this having patience, that's what's being turned upside down. Okay? And it means that instead of the intuitive understanding and potential and patience and calm kicking in, you're getting foolishness, an oversensitive response to what people are saying, lack of harmony. So people are misguided by slight feelings of panic. So that's what's happening globally. Number 2, why is this happening? The 8 of beads. because the world is feeling a little bit hostage to Trump and his cronies, despite what everyone says. Trump and his cronies and their shenanigans are really creating a climate of uncertainty that there really shouldn't be. There should not be a need for such a climate. There should not be any reason for such a climate except for what these idiots are doing, and they are idiots. How can we ease this transition? Well, again, find that balance. Finding a balance between what's earning and bartering, and on a global balance, find what can we do for this country that this country can do for us. If we can help this country in this way and help have a pay off some debt to this country in a certain manner, like rather than say owing a country $100 million and just not having it to pay, saying, well, we can contribute this sort of thing towards relief, or we can take some refugees, or we can do this, or we can do that, working with the World Bank. So find a balanced way of doing things. What is the lesson in this shake-up for the global economy? Keep strong. Be stronger than the people who are trying to upset the balance. Show your strength. Show your teeth. Turn around, and when Trump and his cronies start their shenanigans, roar loudly and say, not today, buddy. It's just not going to happen. So, that's basically what I see is show your strength. Be strong. Be patient as well. Because things, as I said, recessions are a normal part of the economic cycle. Be patient, wait it out. Don't lose your grip. Be strong. Stronger than they are. And roar when you need to roar. To say, stop this shit. You know? So that is the structure. The structure for the US and the structure for the global economy. So now I'm going to have a look at the lightning strike for the US, and the lightning strike makes up cards 5, 6 and 7, and it's release, rethink and rebuild. So what do you need to release? What beliefs do you need to release, let go of? Let go of the belief that a recession means the end of good times. A lot of people see a recession and they think, well, that's the end of the way we live, that's the end of everything. It's not. A recession is a normal part of the cycle. It is a normal change in the economic cycle, but it is not the end of your way of life. It just means you have to be smarter in how you maintain that way of life or in the decisions you make. Let go of the belief that if the economy goes into recession, everything's going to go tits up and you may as well just, all businesses are going to die and this and that. That's not necessarily the truth. It's that panicked way of thinking that can cause more harm than good. What beliefs do you need to rethink? 6 of Dragonflies, 6 of Cups. Rethink the belief that if we can go back to the old way of doing things, everything will be fine. No, some ways of doing things in the past still apply and are still a good way of doing things. But that doesn't mean that everything that was done in the past is the best way to do things. So have a rethink about the things that you think are, if we went back and started doing this, everything would be fine. If we went back and started doing A, yes, that will help the situation. But going back and doing B is not going to make any difference and could even make it worse. So have a rethink about the strategies that will help the economy, that you believe will help the economy, especially the old ones. Sometimes going back is a good thing if you pick the right things to take with you. But if you pick the wrong things, rethink everything about what was done in the past and only bring those things forward that still survive the reassessment. And the last card is to rebuild. What do you need to rebuild? What beliefs have you given up that you believe that you need to rebuild? I think a lot of people have given up the idea that working with others is going to help. Working with partnerships, whether with business partnerships or working with the government, like small businesses or some corporations or departments, working with government departments and working in partnership with them. A lot of people have just given up on the idea that is going to help. Rebuild the idea that you can work with others to get through it. This certainly complements the so many possibilities of how can you ease this transition. Rebuild your faith in working in partnership with other people or other institutions that will help you get through. Like with banks, a lot of people lost their faith in working with banks, justifiably, I think, in 2008. But it's not just banks, it could be credit unions, it could be small businesses, it could be community organisations that are there to help, and it could be government departments. Rebuild your belief that if you work with others and form partnerships with others, you don't have to do it all on your own. Rebuild that belief that you can work, that working with others is a good way to get through it. So that is the Tower. So that is all of the US economy. The structure of it, what beliefs need to be released, what needs to be rethought, and what beliefs need to be rebuilt. That's for the US. Now, so back to the global thing. We've gone through what foundational beliefs are being challenged and why, how to go through this transition, and what's the lesson and the shake-up. The global, it's really, governments around the world have to bare their teeth and roar mightily at these idiots who are trying to change things. So, having looked at that, let's have a look at the lightning strike. What globally the world needs to release, what beliefs they need to release, what beliefs they need to rethink, and what global beliefs need to be rebuilt. So, what needs to be let go of? The Four of Pentacles. Keeping everything closed, keeping your money within your own country and not sharing it, and not working with other countries to help build the economy. The isolationist thinking that Trump is trying to introduce, that has to be chucked out of the window or buried down so deep that they can never dig it out again. That's got to go. The isolationist thinking that a lot of people, a lot of countries are being so shaken up by events that they are starting to think maybe we should keep everything in-house. Get rid of the isolationist thinking and keeping everything close. And because if you don't, your whole country's going to implode economically because of other countries' actions. So we've got to keep it all in country. Get rid of that. Rethink. The Six of Beads, the Six of Swords. Rethink the belief that it's going to be too tough a journey to take. Yes, it's going to be a bit of a tough transition. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. But it's not going to be that bumpy that it can't be done. It will be a bit bumpy, but they've got to rethink the position that it's going to be so bumpy that the economy won't be able to stand it. No, it's not. They're going to be asked to transition through it, and they have to rethink the belief that they won't be able to. And what needs to be rebuilt in global economic thinking. The page of bees. This is reversed. So this is the page of swords reversed. What has to be rebuilt, what has been turned on its head, is trust in the ability to act with, in people's abilities to act with, and other countries' abilities to act with honesty and to face facts and to remain optimistic. That's been turned on its head. Is the belief in other countries, belief in what has to be rebuilt is the belief in other countries to be able to deal with this. So anyway, I'm going to have to go end this now because it's wound down, the recording time. So I hope that gives you an idea of what's going on in the US and in globally. I will do one for Australia, but I do have to go now and into the phone so I can do another reading, and I will talk to you later. Love you all. See you at the next reading. Bye bye.